Hello, and thank you for visiting Seshat's Wisdom YouTube channel. Today, I want to discuss a topic that I think should be addressed because we are in a spiritual war. And so, really, if you're going to survive it, because I'm not necessarily sure if it's about winning or losing, but more surviving it. If you're going to survive, there are a couple of things that you need to understand. All right? I will be doing a couple of these in relation to the spiritual. All right? Because it's hitting everyone. I know you may think that you're a unique circumstance or that you feel because you're looking online and looking everywhere that everyone seems to be having more fun than you. That may or may not be true. I will tell you that there is a spiritual war, and one thing that will make you susceptible to anything negative is fear. The title of this video is Demons and Why You Should Not Fear Demons. All right? Now, we can take a look at a couple of images, right? The images that you see, more so than not, are just fanciful depictions. Okay? Images inspired by biblical context, and then inspired by movies, sensationalized. And then, of course, just the general consensus regarding demons. There are a variety of different types of demons. Demons that exclusively work with negative energies, and then also demons that do not work with negative energies. They're opposed to that. Now, I want you to understand that the original definition of demon just meant non-human. That's it. And let's all come to terms with the fact that just because something or someone is quote unquote human does not mean that they're good, positive, nice. Okay? So let's not exclusively believe that just because you're human, you're on the side of good. We've seen too many examples of that not being true. But honestly, the only examples that you're exposed to about demons is the negative aspect, right? There are demons that focus on the negative, work with negative humans. But that does not constitute the majority of them. It just constitutes the most lucrative of them all. As I've mentioned in other videos, unfortunately, and I'll call it the wicked industry, the low vibration industry, the evil industry, the bad quote unquote industry, is very lucrative in the spirit world. I say this because demons are essentially neutral. They go where the money is, so to speak. But it's not fiat currency on the spirit realm. It's all energy. And of course, the more energy you have, the more abundant you are. There are places in the spirit realm that can only be accessed by low vibration beings. For example, Hell World 3. I have posts on seshatswisdom.com outlining the different realms right now that are most prominent in the spirit world, aka afterlife, things like that. One of which is Hell World 3. Now, Hell World 3 is not an actual world like the Hell World 2 created by and for Christians, and Hell World 1, which is just a lower level of this world. Okay? What Hell World 3 is a marketplace. It's an actual marketplace. And it's where low vibrational entities can actually sell products, sell goods, get goods, find work, find employment. That is where they are. There is a channel on YouTube, and the name of it escapes me, but I'll probably put it somewhere in the descriptions. Hell Testimonies, that's what it's called. But I'll get the correct name of it. And it goes over what it discusses is Christians' experiences, prophetic experiences and dreams of hell and what they encounter. And a couple of them have gone to the Hell World Marketplace and have talked about what they see down there. And so the reason why I bring up this whole thing about the Hell World Marketplace and what they can access is because that does incorporate the spiritual world that these wicked entities play in. You'd be surprised what comes out of the Hell World Market. Some of the most successful products on this plane come out there, including fragrances like perfumes. Not going to tell you which ones, but just know that some of the most phenomenal products, even movie ideas, even book ideas, have come out of Hell World through specific entities. And the only ones that can shop there are low vibrating entities. Okay? There is a passage to Hell World 3 through Hell World 2, but any being coming from Hell World 2, which is the hell that was created by and for Christians, they'd be smart not to go in there because they'll probably become some kind of product or some kind of slave, something like that. But based on what the Hell Testimonies say on this man's YouTube channel from people who give their experience, that gate is locked for the most part anyway. But I digress. The topic is why you should not fear demons. You shouldn't, because they are just there like anybody else trying to make a living. They are impartial and they go where the money goes. And unfortunately, the wicked, the evil industry is really, really profitable for them. And so they're more inclined to not only get work that way, but be fed that way as well. Some demons do feed off of negative energy. And so they need to eat, they need to feed, they need to siphon. And so they will stir up issues in an individual's life or in an area just so they can feed off of that. They might spark negative occurrences for someone who assigned it to them, or they may be carrying out a duty. But the reason you shouldn't be afraid of them is because they can only inspire. They can only trigger. They can only harm you if you also are low vibration like they are. And the way they harm is not physical. It's not physical. They harm by possession. And the only way they can do that is if you are vibrating at a low frequency. And so, that is why it is important for you to keep your spirits high. But it's also important for you to understand that they are just doing what they have to do to survive. And when you look at it that way, then you realize that without you, they cannot survive. And so you have to choose yourself. What will protect you is your mindset, your consciousness, how high you vibrate, and your beliefs. Now, if you believe they can hurt you, They can. But you have to really, really believe it. Do you have a high spiritual guard? Do you have the courage to not buy into fear? Because you are on this plane, which means you are a creator, which means you are the most powerful being in existence. You contain melanin. Some contain less than others. But the more melanin you have, the more powerful you are. Even people whose skin is not dark, they still have melanin. Maybe not as much as an individual who has a darker skin tone, but it's still there. Because one could not live on the surface of this planet if they did not have melanin. And that's something to be explained for another time. I want to stay on topic. Why you should not be afraid of demons is because they are held for hire and they are out here trying to survive. But you see, the more people who are conscious of this and keep their spirits high and their vibrations high, the more inclined there will be for work on the positive. The more inclined there will be to feed the unhuman entities, aka demons, who are for the good, who feed off good energy, happy energy, positive energy. And of course, those who don't will convert to that naturally. It's kind of like adjusting your diet. You can. It's a possibility. But with fear being such a booming industry, and when I say fear, I mean the wicked industry, why change that? They go where the money goes. So what can change that is more people coming into the consciousness of knowing who they are, how powerful they are, and them vibrating at a higher level. The spiritual warfare is mainly because we are in the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension thrives solely on your belief system and how you vibrate and how you think and your thoughts. There's a universal law, telepathy. Okay? Which means that is real and your thoughts are being read, received, and processed, consumed. This is the fifth dimension, which means the only thing that will keep you sustained is your mindset and you using your God force. You doing what you love. You waking up every day. And even if you are working a job you hate, fine. Okay? That's your belief system that you have to do that. And so at least wake up being thankful. Thankful for the money you get to take care of your needs. Thankful for the people in your life who love you. Thank you for having a meal. Thank you, and have gratitude. It's the fifth dimension, and it's specifically geared towards thought. And so what that means is that the spiritual world can really cash in depending on what type of vibration they want. And so if the world is in a state of fear, and if the world is fearing demons, they're going to cash in. But now that you tune into Seshat's wisdom, you know better. You know how to arm yourself. You know how to take precaution. You know what and who demons are. And now that you know that they're in it for the gain, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to be afraid of something that is not more powerful than you? Or are you going to vibrate at the vibration that you need to not be a target for the negative ones? Not be open for possession? Not be fearful? Instead, understand how important it is for your thoughts to be positive and how you need to make sure that you can handle stress, handle material gain, handle things like that. Stop being afraid, because something is feeding off of that and will continue to make you afraid. Starve it or let it change its diet. But anyway, that's why you shouldn't be afraid of it. You're more powerful as long as you vibrate high. You are safe and sound. I'll be doing more videos on this if you want. I just had to touch bases. Thank you so much for tuning into Seshat's Wisdom. Like, comment, and subscribe. And follow for more vids. Thank you for allowing me to share Seshat's Wisdom.